Now, I was talking to Mr. Halfacre, and he wanted me to push you guys a little bit today, so I'm going to model one thing for you, a different strategy, to get you guys ready for 8th grade. So something he had talked about for showing proportions is this thing that we call cross-multiplying. Now, if you feel really comfortable the way that Jackson solved, and I saw in most of your papers, you can stick with that today, Alexis. But I am challenging you to this new strategy, which will also help you. Okay? So in this case, what I want you to do is that I want you to just have your pencils in the groove right now. And I want you to just have your eyes up. If you do reach for your pencil at all, it should be just to take a note on something that I'm doing, or maybe a question you may have at the end. Questions about what we're doing right now? Okay. So, eyes are up front. So, like Jackson said, we're talking about inches and we're talking about miles here. So in this case, I want to set up my ratio. We're talking about 2 inches per every 1 mile, right? And what information do we know about the map, about the part that we're trying to solve? Well, let's look back in the problem. I see that on the map, the distance is 16 inches. But do we know how many miles they've traveled yet? Do we? No. So in that case, I'm going to look and see, well, I have my inches in the numerator in this ratio. So I'm going to keep it consistent in my other ratio. 16 inches. And we said we don't know the amount of miles, so I'm going to use my variable to represent it. I'm going to use it as x. Now, as I said, we're going to use cross-multiplying, and this is something completely new, Cristobal, but this is something, Alexis, you're going to be using in 8th grade. So, we are going to, and I'm just going to draw this arrow over here to show that I'm going to cross-multiply this 2 times this x, which leaves me with 2x. And this 16, we're going to multiply by the 1, which leaves me with 16. And we're going to bring down our equal sign. Now this looks really familiar to last unit, right? How do we solve 16 equals 2x here? And this time I'm asking you guys. What do I have to do here? What's that? Divide by 2. Why do I divide by 2? Jocelyn? So we can find out what that variable equals, and when we have algebraic equations, we use what type of operations? Opposite, or what we call inverse operations, right? What type of operations? What type of operations? Okay, better. So we are going to go ahead and divide by 2. And now we're left with 8 equals x, and x represented our miles. So we end up with the same answer that Jackson had.
That's long.
Okay. So this might make it a little easier today as you're solving some of these problems, and it'll also set you up for what you're going to do with Mr. Halfacre next year in 8th grade. Do you have, nope, not copying at that point. I'm going to have to give you a moment here. But I wanted to see now, what were the steps that we had to take to do this? What were the steps that we had to take to cross-multiply? Think about it. Cristobal, I want you to come talk with these, with Malik and Juliana. Priscilla, you're going to talk with the group in front. Turn and talk with the people around you. What are the steps that we had to take to cross-multiply successfully? Go. Shout out to Nayeli and Alex, who got started right away. Match and Doke, Emiliano. Match and Doke, start. What's the first thing we had to do? Press the ball, slide over 1. Emiliano. Press the ball. Slide over. Angel, what's the first step we had to do? 10 more seconds. Well, that's the end goal, right? That's what we're trying to do. Bring it back in 3. Bring it back in 2. 1. They don't go ahead yet. And 0. What was the first thing that we had to do? All of you have had a chance to turn and talk about it. Shalom, thank you for being brave.
So first, you have a variable, and you make your 2 sides with something.
With something. What is this information over here? Or where did this come from? Our problem, right? So we're pulling that given information out of the problem and showing our proportion, or our ratio here. We know that every 2 inches is 1 mile. We're creating that ratio. What about on this side? What do we have to identify? This is one of the bigger steps today. What are we looking for on this side? Thank you, Shalom and Jackson. I've heard from both of you. I'm going to try and have someone else. Kira, what am I looking for? What am I trying to identify with this side? The right-hand side of our proportion setup here. The variable, which represents information, is it given to us? No, so we're identifying that missing piece, and in this case we've identified that we don't know the miles. So we're going to put the x where the miles are. So we need to set up our proportion with our missing piece. Right? Next, what are we doing? After we have this all set up, what do we have to do next? Mash it up? We multiplied, and how did we multiply? Cross multiplying. How do we multiply, everybody? Everybody? Man, you guys are acting like it's Monday. Try it again. How are we multiplying? Alright, we'll settle for that for now, but I'm expecting to see it in your work. Emily, bring it back. So, after we cross multiplied, finally, now what can we do? Divide by 2 in this case, or what you're going to do throughout, it may not always be necessarily the same, but you're going to solve, right? You're going to solve for x. So, questions about this strategy? Okay, I want you to quickly copy this down. Thank you. Quickly copy this down. You have 30 seconds. Thank you, Natalie, for getting there quickly. Thank you, Fatima and Summer. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Alexis, do you have this down? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now getting down our key point for the day.